I am Brandon Forbes, and today's presentation will center on the issue of Islamophobia in U.S. schools. In order to effectively discuss this topic, we will briefly look at the history of Islamophobia, or discrimination against followers of Islam, in the United States throughout history. We will then delve into some alarming statistics regarding bullying and discrimination of Muslim students in our schools. After understanding the prevalence of the issue, we will look at the effects this discrimination has on students. After gaining a more complete understanding of the issue at hand, we will address potential solutions. This is not in any way meant to be a comprehensive list of everything that can be done to combat Islamophobia, but rather this is intended as a starting point for schools to build on and develop in ways that are relevant to their own schools. Following all this, we will conclude and references will be provided. In the early days of the United States, many people struggled to obtain citizenship. This was due to the Naturalization Act of 1790, which provided a way for free white people to gain citizenship. Many people struggled to earn this privilege, including Italians and Greeks who had a darker complexion. These struggles were mirrored, and even more so, by those of Middle Eastern descent, of whom very few were able to obtain citizenship until after 1944, when the laws changed. While Islamophobia was always an issue in this country, it became even more pronounced and obvious after the terrorist attacks of 9/11. Following this fateful day, fear and hatred of Muslims became much more widespread. According to multiple surveys, approximately 80% of Muslim students say that they have been bullied or discriminated against for their beliefs or heritage. This is nearly 4 times higher than the 22% of students overall who report dealing with these same issues. A full 50% of these students say that the bullying took place directly in front of teachers or administrators, and the school staff did nothing. In many cases, the teachers even add to the problem, with 20% of Muslim students reporting that the bullying and discrimination they suffered came from their teachers. In one heartbreaking example, there was a 5th grade girl who, upon reaching out for help to her teacher, was told, "After what your people have done to this country, you can deal with it." It should come as no surprise to anyone that students who are bullied do not do as well. They may feel the need to hide who they are. They may feel unsafe at school. And they are far more likely to struggle with thoughts of suicide as well as other mental health issues. These issues are not unique to Muslim students, but with Muslim students being bullied 4 times more often than other students, it is a very pressing issue that must be addressed. As we learn to have more empathy towards our fellow man, problems such as these become less prevalent. The solution to this problem must be addressed from 2 sides. First, the teachers. The teachers must learn to know more about Islam, because the more we know, the less there is to fear. Muslim scholars have contributed much to our world, from developing algebra to art and many things in between. Teachers need to understand the myriad ways that Islamic society contributes to their subjects. For example, how many teachers even realize that the numbers with which we write are taken from the Arabic and Islamic societies? At the end of the day, we should first seek to enlighten these teachers to the benefits the Muslim students have on their peers. But it must be made unmistakably clear that discrimination of these or any other students by teachers will not be tolerated. A teacher's job is to teach and protect their students. Any not doing this needs to be addressed. Moving on to the students, again, the answer is education. The more they come to understand their peers, the more empathy and understanding they can have. Once we have educated the teachers, this education must be passed on to the students. One thing that modern culture tends to forget is that extremism is not unique to Islam. If the students understand that extremism has been a part of nearly all religions and societies, they will hopefully come to realize that the vast majority of Muslims are peaceful and not associate them only with the terrorist groups. It is common for students to learn the background of the more well-known and widely practiced holidays throughout the year. The same education can be extended to the Islamic holidays. During the month of Ramadan, for instance, students can be taught about some of the beliefs and false stereotypes associated with Muslims. Again, this is not intended as a cure-all, but instead a list of a few suggestions that can be used to build solutions that will work in your schools. Muslim students have suffered due to ignorance for many years. As we work together to shine the light on the issue of Islamophobia, we can all learn and grow. As we learn to understand one another better, we can eliminate fear and work to build an environment where all students, including Muslims, can feel safe. In conclusion, we've discussed the history of Islamophobia and discrimination against Muslims in the United States. We learned a little bit about the statistics of this discrimination on students and the effects it has on them. We've talked about some of the solutions and ways that we can move forward.